Hi, I'm Susie, and I chose the three different topics of entrepreneurs, management, and global trade for my topics that I wanted to discuss. Um, so with entrepreneurs, they put a lot of work in, time and money in, just to make sure that they can have a chance at doing great at their own job and to be able to follow their own dreams and not have to deal with a boss of their own. They can be their own boss, and they have to work really hard to be able to make sure that they can make a profit and give a service or provide a good that everyone enjoys so that they can make a living. The great thing is that there is no real age limit. Like, obviously you should probably be over 18 to be able to get all the licenses and stuff, but you don't have to, wait until you're super old, or if you are, you can, and not have to worry about being denied a job because they feel like you're too old to do the job that you want to do. You do lose out on some benefits being an entrepreneur because you don't have the healthcare that's provided by most companies now, and you don't get vacation time. It also allows people like women and people from different ethnic backgrounds to be able to run their own businesses and not have to be feeling like they're discriminated against because, they don't fit the typical white male type of worker. So it's super important for us to have entrepreneurs because obviously we wouldn't have most of the businesses we have today without them taking the risks that they need to open their own business and go out on their own. And any computer company like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they're super important in the way that computers have developed it to today. My other topic is management, because managers are a vital part of any company, just to make sure that everyone's staying on track and making sure everyone's doing their job correctly. But they can also be like the downfall of a company as well. They need to be able to motivate their employees and encourage them without threatening them with punishment or threatening them with firing if they don't do what they want, because it'll basically cause the opposite effect that they want. So it's important for them to make their employees feel like they're being empowered rather than micromanaging everything that they do. Managers also need to know what the goal is and how to get there with the best motivation practices. So it's also important to have a really clear chain of command, because if you have 3 different supervisors telling you how to do your job and what they want you to do rather than what you should be doing, then it's counterproductive because you're getting behind because you have too much to do, and they're not knowing that other people are also assigning you different assignments. They also have to know how to use constructive criticism rather than just telling you you're doing a horrible job. It's also important for managers to be able to tell you what you are doing right, to motivate the employees. It's super important to me because I did have at my old job, we did have multiple supervisors overseeing us depending on the time of the day, and depending on the day of the week that you work, they had opposite schedules. So if you're told by one supervisor to do a specific job and then they do a shift trade, and all of a sudden you're being told to do something else, or they want you to do your job a different way than the other supervisor wanted you to do it, it's very confusing, and then you just kind of don't want to do that job because you don't know what the right way of doing it is. The third topic that I found super important was global trade. it can, you know, be a huge benefit, because if you have, you know, you can't grow certain kind of food that's in high demand, and you decide to trade with a different company that grows that kind of food, then it's a huge relief. Or if it's just nutritional value, then it's like perfect for trade. And if they give you those food, you can trade like technology that they don't have maybe in return, and it can help the entire world grow rather than just your region, or make a certain region uninhabitable because they can't have any kind of food or technology to grow the food, or whichever. It can also help keep prices down on certain goods and services. If like Nike and stuff, it would probably be a lot more expensive, I'm guessing, if they ended up doing it here rather than trading for cheaper labor. And I don't support it necessarily, but it is, you know, something that, you know, if we had most of the United States can't grow coffee, and, you know, so we trade with other countries that can grow it a lot cheaper so that we can afford it here, and that people can actually have it rather than going without. And so with our current technology that we have, it is a lot easier to join the global market and advance and get all the different things that we would need that we couldn't normally get here from different countries. And being able to sell things to different countries is also helping our economy, because we're making sure that businesses here are being able to sell things. If there's not a huge market here, there might be in like India or China or some other country that they can sell to. And going back to being an entrepreneur, if you are selling a certain thing that's maybe not in high need here, but in a different country, and you know the global trade, and you're able to do that, then it can really help your business and then help your community as it goes. Because without global trade, we, especially for the like oil and stuff, like, yeah, we have stuff here, but it's not as prominent as in other countries. And so being able to do global trade with other countries keeps it so that we can, you know, keep driving our cars and get, and even in turn help global trade, because the ships and everything and airplanes and everything need oil to be able to run. So it in itself is able to help with the global trade. The topic that I found most interesting would have to be the entrepreneurs, because it's great that we can, you know, be able to start our own business when you have a great idea and not have to worry about getting it through the chain of command before it gets approved. And it gives the other people a lot more opportunity to start jobs that, you know, if they weren't able to find employment elsewhere in the field that they wanted, they had the chance to maybe open up their own business and do what they loved and be their own boss. I just think it's great that we have a place that we are able to do that. So this assignment was actually really fun. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than this. I really hope to gain the confidence to be comfortable in knowing more about our trade and business and stuff. Since I am going into accounting, it makes it a lot easier to be able to understand more of this than just the number part. So thank you, and I hope to talk to you again soon.